So today I want to take some time to talk about the issue of the construction of a new military base or US military base in Henoko, Okinawa. So Okinawa is a island in Japan. It's located in the very southern part of Japan. It's near China, and Okinawa used to be like a completely independent country. It wasn't part of Japan, but around like 100 or 200 years ago, Okinawa became part of Japan. But since then, like Okinawa has been like treated very, very badly by the like mainland Japanese people or the Japanese government, and it's still doing economically worse than the people in the mainland. Like so, people in like Tokyo or Osaka, they are doing much, much better in terms of economics than the people in Okinawa. And like they face many, many types of discrimination the people in Okinawa do. Like in terms of like land areas, Okinawa is only 0.6% like of the all of Japan, so it's only like very very small part of Japan. But over 70% of the all of the US military base in Japan is located in Okinawa. So this is like clearly bigoted and discriminatory because people will like right wingers and conservatives might say that like Okinawa is a important place. It's important to like keep China off Japan and stop them from invading us. But like 70% of the all US military base in like 0.6% of the land, that is like way way too much. Like you can make a case that there needs to be some US military bases in Okinawa, but the reality right now, 70% of the US military base being in 0.6% of the land, which is Okinawa, that is like very very disturbing and discriminatory. People in Okinawa have to like wake up every day to the loud sounds of these US military airplanes flying over their houses. There have been a lot of accidents, like the crushing of these US military planes, and these US military people, like US military soldiers, like they've committed many crimes against the innocent like people in Okinawa. There was a horrible rape case like few years ago that happened in Okinawa, and like hundreds of thousands of people in Okinawa came out and protested against it, and like they're like, get the fuck out, like this is not acceptable. The US like often tries to portray themselves as like the fighter for freedom and democracy, and like we need to be there to protect the people of Japan from these like evil Chinese. Like that's kind of the sentiment that they're using. But sometimes, or even in many cases, they are like the very threat being posed towards the people in Japan. Like as I said, there have been like terrible crimes that have been committed by these U.S. military soldiers in Japan, especially in Okinawa, where there are 70% of the all of the U.S. military is located in. But even when they like commit these crimes, they're not like punished as severely as like all the other people in Japan are, because of this like horrible unfair treaty that Japan has with the United States. And the current LDP administration, like the Liberal Democratic Party, which is a conservative right-wing political party, has been ruling Japan for a very long time, and it's like very pro-US. They're not gonna say anything against the United States of America. Like these LDP politicians are very corrupt and pro-US imperialism, and that's why like this horrible discrimination against the people of Okinawa is continuing. And so one of the very dangerous US military base in Okinawa, like there are a lot of them, but the most dangerous one is the base called Futenma military base. It's often called like the most dangerous US military base in the world. It's located in like center of these like residential areas where normal people of Okinawa live, and the people that lived there before, they were forcefully moved out of these areas just to build these military bases. So like this is completely unacceptable, and like there have been numerous accidents in this Futenma military base. So like Japanese government and the US government have been like working to figure out ways to like relocate this Futenma military base around 80s or 1980s or 1990s. This like plan of relocating Futenma military base to Henoko military base, which is another part of Okinawa, came up. And as I've been saying, LDP has been like the ruling party of Japan for a very long time, and like this plan to relocate Futenma from Henoko was seen as a plan that's probably gonna be implemented. But like the thing is, even if there is a military base that's built in Henoko, it's not guaranteed that the Futenma military base is gonna close, because there are like 8 conditions that like Japan and US government has agreed to, that they need to like close this Futenma military base, and one of them includes like there needs to be another airport that like the US can use to land the planes. Because like currently Futenma is being used as often used to like land these US military planes, but in the Henoko military base, there they can't like build these like long roads that the planes need to like land. So they're saying that the US is saying that they need like another place there's other than Henoko to land these planes, but they haven't like been able to find where that's gonna be. So like even if Henoko is built, it's not guaranteed that Futenma is gonna close. So that's why I'm calling it, and not just me, like like a lot of people that's against this plan is calling it like the new military base, because that's essentially what it is, right? Because you're building a new military base, and it's not guaranteed that like Futenma is gonna come back. So it's kind of dishonest to say it's a relocation plan, because it's not guaranteed that Futenma is gonna come back. So the LDP Japanese government and the US government have been like trying to implement this plan, but in 2009 LDP lost big in the elections, and the Democratic Party, which is like kind of like center left, like liberal party, they took power, and the leader of the Democratic Party back then was a person named Yukio Hatoyama. He's like a very liberal politician, and so Hatoyama was like against this plan to build the new base in Henoko, and he wanted to like have some other plan to close the Futenma military base and move it to somewhere other than in Okinawa, because he thought, and many of the people in Okinawa and around Japan too thought that it's like really messed up that there needs to be new like military base in Okinawa to like relocate a Henoko, relocate Futenma, which is a very, very dangerous military base. Because as I've been saying, there's 70% of the U.S. military base is already in Okinawa, which is only 0.6% of the whole of Japan in terms of the area, land area. So like Hatoyama wanted to find somewhere else, but the bureaucrats within Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Japan, they told Hatoyama like this false information, and like try to obstruct this plan to like move Futenma out of Okinawa, because all of these deep state, if you will, like not meaning it in conspiratorial way, but like these establishment bureaucrats, many of them are corrupt, and they want to like keep this pro-US imperialism policy in Japan, and they're not thinking about anything about like this dignity and human rights of the people in Okinawa. So they wanted to like keep this plan and obstruct Hatoyama's plan to move it outside of Okinawa. So they obstructed it, and at the end, unfortunately, Hatoyama caved, and he just believed that the people in the Foreign Affairs Ministry of Foreign Affairs was like telling the truth. He didn't consider the possibility of them lying to him, because he's their boss and they're not supposed to lie to him, obviously. So he said that he's gonna keep this plan to move Futenma to Henoko. And after that, in 2012, the Democratic Party lost the election, and LDP took over the power again, and Shinzo Abe was the leader of LDP in 2012 at the time, and he became the prime minister. And Shinzo Abe is very fascist, authoritarian, like dictatorial right-wing politician, so he was like very, very aggressive in terms of like supporting this plan to move Futenma to Henoko, because he's very pro-US imperialism. But the people of Okinawa, they've been electing like governor that oppose this plan to move Futenma to Henoko, and the governor in 2012, governor of Okinawa in 2012 was Nakaima. He ran a campaign against this plan to relocate Futenma to Henoko. He promised to like move Futenma out of Okinawa, but after Shinzo Abe took power, Nakaima broke this promise with the people of Okinawa, and he he approved this plan to move Phutema to Henoko. It's been said that there was a lot of pressure from the Abe administration to approve this plan. And in the next election, I think it was in 2014, I believe, I think Nakaima didn't run. Some other candidate that was supported by LDP ran, but he lost to the candidate that's opposed to build a new base in Henoko. This person was named Onaga. He was supported by all these liberal and leftist parties, including Social Democratic Party and Communist Party. And but to be clear, this is not like left versus right issue. Onaga himself was used to be a member of LDP. He was, I think he was like a legislator in Okinawa's like local congress. He was part of LDP, but like what these LDP politicians was doing, he realized it's very oppressive towards all of the people in Okinawa. He ended up leaving the party and being opposed to this plan to build a new base in Henoko. So and a lot of people, include not just Onaga, like a lot of conservatives, they're also like teaming up with these leftists and liberals in Okinawa, because like what the right wingers are doing towards Okinawa, it's like just terrible. So it's not just like a right or left issue. It's more of like being with the Okinawa people of Okinawa, or being the ones to oppress the people of Okinawa. So I want to make that just clear. It's not a left. It's not like an ideological issue. And so Onaga won in 2014, and after he was elected, he obviously erased this approval that was done by Nakaima. But after that, like I think Japanese government sued the Okinawa prefecture, which was obviously governed by Onaga, who was elected, and the court ruled in favor of Japanese government in this issue of Henoko, building a new base in Henoko. So, but in 2018, Onaga passed away because of cancer, and obviously the election was held to elect a new governor of Okinawa, and a person named Deni Tamaki was supported by the people that opposed this plan to build a new base in Henoko. He beat the candidate supported by LDP, but in I think it was like in December of 2018, Japanese government started this construction of the new military base in Henoko. So this is like very, very violent towards people of Okinawa, because they've been pretty clear with their election results that they're completely opposed to this plan. But even if that's the case, Japanese government just ignored this, completely ignoring the will of the people of Okinawa, just started building this horrible new military base. But after they started building this new military base, they found out that there was a very unstable part in the area that they were trying to build a new military base on. It's in Henoko. It's the northern part of Henoko. So they only like started building in the southern part, which is like not as unstable as the northern part. So they like try to implement this new plan to have an additional construction in the northern part of Henoko, because they needed like these additional construction to like make the land stable. But in order to implement this plan, they needed the approval of the governor of Okinawa, which is Tamaki Deni. But he obviously is opposed to this plan in itself, so there's no way he's gonna approve of it. He didn't approve it back in 2018 or 2019. So again, the Japanese government sued Deni, but the court like kept on ruling in favor of the Japanese government, and it went to the Supreme Court, but the Japanese government kept winning. And this like court battle between Okinawa and the Japanese government, they continued for a few years, and at the end there was a ruling last year that allowed the Japanese government to approve the new plan without the permission of local government of Okinawa. So this is very unconstitutional and very undemocratic. And about a week ago from now, I think it was like January 8th or 9th, they actually the Japanese government actually started building the construction in the northern part of Henoko, which has a very unstable land, not at all suitable for a new military base. They started building it, but the people of Okinawa, like a lot of people, are non-violently protesting this horrible operation against Okinawa. And I just feel that like I've been covering this story in Japanese multiple times on this channel. I think I said this at the start of this clip, but I thought I just feel that like I wanted to talk about this in English because, you know, obviously this is a US military base issue. So like people of the United States, they're overwhelmingly English speakers. So I wanted to try to like make more people in the English speaking world to know about this issue. Because like Kishida, who is the current prime minister of Japan, he supports this plan, and Biden, who is the president of the United States, also support this plan. So like if Biden didn't support this plan, this wouldn't be happening at all. I have Japanese citizenship and the United citizenship because my parents were Japanese, but I was born in America. So like this issue is like kind of personal to me. I follow like politics in Japan and in the United States, so I feel like I'm like kind of obligated to speak about this issue online because I just want everyone around the world that loves democracy and oppose this horrible oppression. You know, there are a lot of things happening around the world that are like oppressive. You know, the people of Palestine are being subject to the genocide being supported by the United States. You know, the people of Ukraine are being invaded by this horrible Russian military with their terrible imperial ambitions. But like this Henoko issue, I feel like that it's the same as what's happening in Palestine or in Ukraine, in that it's very oppressive towards the local people. So I just want everyone to know that this is happening. That's all for now. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.